What's up, Gravel Throat Reviews here. We have an album review or an EP review from Sunrise Patriot Motion, and the EP is called My Father Took Me Hunting in the Snow. Sunrise Patriot Motion is an amazing experimental metal / post-hardcore band from California, formed in 2015. They have elements of dungeon synth and goth rock, heavy metal, and post-punk as well. This is such a brilliant combination of genres and feels. My first time hearing this band, I was slightly thrown off, but as I listened more and more, I began to become severely addicted to this sound. I just love the combinations. The gritty lo-fi guitars conjure a depraved angst that is only cured by these walls of vintage synth that offer a lo-fi but melodic finish. The vocals, however, are perhaps the main reason that I love this EP. Vocalist Andy Chug provides a completely unhinged and manic vocal style that is reverbed and echoed to perfection. The delivery is neither a death metal guttural style or a higher pitched black metal style, but instead a mid-range yell that feels urgent and cavernous. I absolutely love it. It's incredibly unique and interesting. It's one of the best vocal styles that I've heard on this side of the pandemic. It goes a long way for me. But the concept of Sunrise Patriot Motion as a band is quite interesting also. The 2024 release Black Bellflower Stream is a concept album that explores a man's descent into madness as he obsessively digs for oil in an isolated field. This represents a journey into the depths of paranoia and self-annihilation for him. I love it when bands hone in on a very specific concept like this. It's so unique and clever. The concept of the EP that we'll be talking about today, My Father Took Me Hunting in the Snow, is a bleak recollection of a childhood winter hunting trip with his father, who he envisions as a king. In the story, a broken well pump causes a fit of thirst and a euphoric realization that he is in fact the sun. And when the day ends, so will he. The lore is really interesting and unique. The first song on the EP is titled Turkey Claw, and it starts with some windswept atmosphere and a vintage synth that sparkles on and off. There are some field recordings of heavy footsteps through the snow, and this kind of sets the scene in a wintry forest. Track 2 is the title track, My Father Took Me Hunting in the Snow. And this song comes right in with a set of haunting and sinister arpeggios that create tension and the sense that something is very off. The vintage synths support the melody with an additional layer of beauty and sharpness. Andy's unhinged but somehow perfectly calibrated vocals tear into the mix like an arrow through a wet paper. His delivery is harsh but also melodic, and the syllable placement is just brilliant. He uses an A, B, C, B rhyme scheme. So the second and fourth bars rhyme. This allows you to put a different vocal inflection on lines A and B, which makes it very interesting to the ear, and the rhyme scheme doesn't become exhausted this way. Super cool. I love that dynamic. I'm going to read some of the lyrics to you right now because I think they are brilliant and they really capture a snapshot of this protagonist's childhood memory of the snowy hunting trip that he's talking about. The lyrics read, "A horseman in the shade, a spider on his lap. I see him dappled in the deep. I see the moonlight on his map. I see him waiting for a sign. He with a rifle is the last to know. He who is silent is first forgot." And the second verse goes, "The rat has a needle in the butter of his mind, bog taste in the salmon, hill bells rippling in the shine. One way to slip inside the palace is to go hunting with the king. One way to slip inside his body is through a window in the skin." Yeah, it's really interesting, almost on the verge of being demented. It's so damn cool. But, it's absolutely brilliant in my opinion. Very interesting and unique perspective as well. The next song is The Silence of the Birds. This song just serves as a palette cleanser before the next track. It has some reverb synth keys paired with some synth strings that hang in the background. There are some field recordings with some very soft sleigh bells and some distant bird chirps that kind of bring you back into that snowy woodland area. audibly. Then the atmosphere begins to clear as this track fades out and kind of makes his way for the final track. The next and final song on this EP is Two Crows Woke in the Nest. And this is the song that talks about the protagonist coming across the broken water pump in the forest, and he becomes thirsty. Then he somehow realizes that he's the son. See, I think this is a play on words because he is his father's son, but the way he talks about it, the way he talks about the actual son is like when the sun comes up and another day is done. So it's really an interesting concept that makes you kind of dig deep. And I love a challenge when it comes to music like this. The guitars on the track are amazing, and the synths that accompany them are gothic and bright. This whole EP is just one interesting, unique idea after the other. That's why I'm doing this video, because I think more people need to hear this. Some people will listen casually and decide that this isn't for them, but some, like me, will fall in love with these sounds, ideas, themes, and atmospheres. There's only 2 intros and 2 full songs on this EP, but for me, it's pretty damn close to perfect. I can't wait for a new project from these guys. If it's anything like this, I'm going to be drooling all over it. Yeah, man, I'm giving this EP a 9 out of 10. It is incredibly good. The only thing I would change is the length. With one more track as compelling as the former 2, this EP would be a 10 for me. I love the sound. Massive shout out to Sunshine Patriot Motion. Check them out on Bandcamp, YouTube, Instagram, and all the streaming platforms. Thanks for watching. I do have some t-shirts for sale. I'll put them right here. Take a look for it right here. These are like $30 with shipping included in the price as well. So hit me up if you want one of those. Thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it. Everyone have a good weekend. Cheers.